Hi everybody, welcome to another George Crafts video. I am super excited today because we're going to make our Harry Potter make your own Hedwig kit. I've had a lot of requests on the YouTube channel for some advice, some guidance on how to make these kits, and that's really great because it means you guys are actually watching and that makes me happy. So we're going to try and make the kit with as little extras as possible. So we're just going to use everything that's in the kit. The only thing I'm adding is scissors, and I have stitch markers here. If you haven't got stitch markers, don't worry, you can just use scraps of wool that you've got, okay? So go and grab yourselves a drink and a snack, and I will meet you back here when you've got all your things together. Okay, so now you've got your cup of tea, your coffee, you're ready to start. So the pattern begins with making the head and body in the white yarn. So I've got my yarn and I've got my hook. Now it says to begin with a magic ring. I will show you how to do that. If you find it's a little bit tricky, I'll show you an alternative way of starting off, okay? So first of all, magic ring. Hold your yarn so the tail is pointing towards you, and then just lay it over your fingers. Take the yarn underneath and back round, so you've got two stripes of yarn going across. So take the hook, pass it underneath, grab hold of your piece of yarn and pull it back. Take your hook out, poke it back under, grab your yarn again and pull it through the loop that you've just made. Okay, and then you're going to start to make double crochets. So you're going to pass your crochet stitches around these two pieces of the yarn, alright? So we need to make 6. So we go under, bring our yarn back, and then pull the yarn through the 2 loops on our hook. Same again, under, pull the yarn back, close the 2 loops. So that's 2, under, pull the yarn back, and then close the 2 loops. So that's 3, under, pull the yarn back, close 2 loops, that's 4. Under, pull the yarn back, close 2 loops, whoops-a-days, that's 5. Last one, so under, pull the yarn back, close 2 loops. So now you've got 6 double crochets. All you need to do is to close this loop by pulling the tail of your yarn, and now you have a circle. So that's how you do your magic ring. If you find that too difficult, I'm going to show you another way. So I'm just going to unravel by pulling the yarn. The method is called double crochet into a ring. So you start by making a slip knot. So wrap the yarn around your finger and there's a cross. Pop your thumb on the point of the cross. Hold on to your little loop. Bring your tail round and pull it through, just like that. Okay? So make a cross, hold on to the cross point, and then pull your tail through the loop that you've made. Okay. Then we're going to pop our loop onto our hook. Now we're ready to start double crochet 6 into a ring. So you need to start by making 2 chain stitches. So here's 1. Here's 2. What you need to do now is make 6 double crochets into the first stitch. So that's this one you can see between my thumb and my finger. So to do that, pop your hook through that first stitch, pull the yarn back and close your 2 loops together. Same place, put the hook through, pull the yarn back, close your 2 loops together. So for the third one, put your hook through the same place, pull the yarn back and close your 2 loops together. Fourth one, put your hook through the same hole, pull the yarn back and close the loops together. Put your hook through the same place, pull the yarn back, close the loops together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more. So hook through the loop, pull the yarn back through, close 2 loops together. Okay. So now you have your ring, and you can tighten that up again just by pulling the tail of your yarn. Whether you've started with the magic ring or with the method I've just shown you, which is double crochet 6 into a ring, now you need to pop your stitch marker or your spare piece of yarn in place. What you do is you go to the last stitch you made and you just pop your stitch marker through that stitch, close it up, and you're ready to start your next round. We're going to start to build up the crochet that we're doing, and to make shape in crochet we use increases and decreases. So at the moment you're going to be working increases. This pattern, when it says increase, it wants you to make 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. So if you imagine this is the center and this is stitch number 1 and this is stitch number 6, we're going to work around in this direction. So we're going to make 2 stitches in here, 2 stitches in here, 2 in here, and 2 in here, and 2 in here, and 2 in here, and so on. And that will give you the correct number of stitches for round number 2. And if you're ever not sure on how many stitches you need, at the end of each row of the pattern they write the number of stitches you're going to need in rounded brackets at the end of the row. That isn't an instruction, you don't have to do anything with this. This just tells you how many stitches you should have when you finish that line of the pattern, okay? So let's make some increases. So I'm just going to pick up my yarn, and then this is the 6th stitch of the first row. I'm going to make 1 double crochet into the first stitch and a 2nd double crochet into the first stitch, 1 double crochet into the 2nd stitch and a 2nd double crochet into the 2nd stitch. 1 double crochet into the 3rd stitch, 2 double crochets into the 3rd stitch, and then just carry on doing the same thing all the way around until you get to stitch number 6. Have a go and I'll catch up with you in a second. Okay, great. So you've got all the way around your first round. What you need to do now is move your stitch marker. So just pull your hook so you have a very large loop. That way you're not going to unpick your crochet by accident. Open your stitch marker, take it off, and then pop the stitch marker back through the final stitch you just made. And now you're ready to start the next round. So now we're going to move into making the third round of stitches, and I think this is where a few people have been coming unstuck. So your pattern for this row is written in square brackets, so we'll call this round 3, and it's written square bracket, double crochet, and then a number, we've called that X, comma, increase, close brackets, multiplied by Y, and that will give us the total number of stitches in the circular brackets at the end of the row. The way you read this, okay, is you just ignore this multiplier for now and think of this as one unit, okay? So the square bracket is the unit that you're going to make. So for this round it's double crochet 1 and then increase. So our increase is still the same, it's still 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. I hope you can read my writing. So what that means is, if we call this stitch number 12 and this stitch number 1, we're going to make 1 double crochet, and then we're going to make 2 double crochets as our increase into the next stitch. Then we make 1 double crochet, and then we make 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and we just keep going around making our increase and our double crochets into 1 stitch until we get to the end. So what you will find is that by the time you've got round to the end, you've gone round 6 times, and 6 is what Y is, so that's the number we're multiplying by. So you'll have 1 stitch which is your double crochet, and then your increase, which we know is 2 double crochets in the same stitch, equals 2 double crochets there. So we've got 3 stitches in our unit, multiplied by 6 equals 18, which is the total number of stitches you should have in the round. Okay, so I'll show you and you can have a go and see how you get on. So double crochet, she says, and then increase. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch. So that's 1 unit. Then we'll make another double crochet and then another increase. So that's 1, 2 in the same stitch, 2 units, 1 double crochet and then an increase. That's 1 and 2, and then double crochet, and then an increase, and then a double crochet, and then an increase, and then your final unit, double crochet, and then an increase in your final stitch, and then just move your stitch marker up before you start the next round. So now we're ready to start round 4, and the pattern is written the same as round number 3, in that we have a unit which we need to multiply by 6. So this unit we're going to make 2 double crochets into the first 1 and 2 stitches in the round, and then in the third stitch in our round we're going to make 2 double crochets. So that's 2 double crochets plus your increase, which is another 2 double crochets, and that's 4 times 6 is 24, which is the number in rounded brackets at the end of your pattern, which is the total number of stitches you should have. So what we're going to do in space number 1, or stitch number 1, we're going to make 1 double crochet. In space number 2, or stitch number 2, you're going to make 1 double crochet. So you've done this bit now. And then in the third stitch, or the third space, you're going to make 2 double crochets, and that's your increase. And then you do that 6 times. So if you compare this to what we've just done in round number 3, you did 1 double crochet, and then you made your increase. And then you did 1 double crochet, and then you made your increase. Okay, so this time we're doing 2 double crochets before increasing. Last time we did 1 double crochet before increasing. So let's have a look and see how it goes, and you can try and join in with me or pause and catch up in a second. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 into the same space. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 goes into the same space. So I'm going to carry on round, and then you can catch me up at the end of this round and we'll move on again. Okay, so we've come to the end of the round, and that means we have to move our stitch marker again. So just pop it again into the last stitch that you made, and then we're good to go. So round 5 is where it starts to become quite tricky. So the pattern is written double crochet 1 plus, and then in square brackets, increase, comma, double crochet 3, close the brackets, times 5, add an increase, and then double crochet 2. So there's quite a lot of numbers in there. So we've broken it down. 1 double crochet, an increase is 2 double crochets, and then double crochet 3 is 3, multiplied by 5, and make an increase, which is another double crochet, 2 double crochets, sorry, plus 2 more double crochets. So this bracket is our unit, it's still our unit, and that's all we care about right now. So when it says multiply by 5, you are just multiplying this unit by 5. So what it wants you to do is make a double crochet in the first stitch, And then in the second stitch you're going to do your increase, which is 2 double crochets, and then in your stitches 3 to 5, so 3, 4 and 5, you're going to make 1 double crochet into each. When you've done that, you're going to just repeat the unit again. You don't have to repeat this one, so you just repeat this 5 times. When you've done that, you make another increase, and then you do your 2 final double crochets into the 2 remaining stitches. I'll show you what that means and you can follow along. So double crochet 1, make my increase, and then do 3 double crochets. I've come to the end of the first unit, so I will repeat my unit again. So I'm going to make an increase, so that's 2 into the same stitch, and then I'm going to make 3 double crochets, so that's 1, 2 and 3. So that's the end of the second unit. We're going to do another. So I'm going to make my increase, and then I'm going to make 3 double crochets. End of another unit, and we'll do another repeat. So that's 1, 2, that's my increase, and then we do our 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So that's the end of unit number 4. We need to do 5 units all together. So there's my increase, number 1, second stitch of my increase, 2, and then 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. So I've made 5 units now, so we can come to the next part of the pattern, which is make another increase. So that's 1 and 2, and then I need to make 2 double crochets. Okay, so 1 and 2, and now I've come to the end of my round. So I'm just going to move my stitch marker and now we're all ready to start round number 6. Okay, so catch up and I'll start again with round number 6 with you in a few minutes. Okay, I hope you've got on okay so far. If not, just shoot me a question in the comments or find us on social media. But we're going to move on now to round 6. Round 6 of the pattern for Hedwig is worked in the same way as you work round 4 and in the same way as we worked round 3. So we have a unit and we multiply it by 6. The only difference is we're putting more double crochets before we increase. All we have to remember in this pattern, when things are written in a bracket, so we'll have double crochet and then a number followed by increase. Every time it says increase, that means you're putting 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. If it says double crochet 4, comma increase, that means put 4 double crochets into the first 4 stitches, and then in the 5th stitch put 2 double crochets. Okay? It's really as simple as that, and as long as you remember that, you won't go far wrong. So have a go at finishing the rest of the pattern with the rules that I've shown you here. I will finish my piece of the pattern and then we'll meet up and we'll talk about the next bit. But if you've got any problems or any questions, please do get in touch because I'm here to help. What your work will look like when you finished round 8. From rows 9 to 14, it's nice and easy because you're just putting 1 double crochet into each stitch. There's no increases, there's no decreases, so just make double crochets in a spiral, moving your stitch marker each time. Okay, you might want to make a little mark on your pattern every time you finish a round, just so you can keep track of the number of rounds you've done. Have a go and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Okay, so we're going to start round 16 now, and from these rounds, 16 through 18, they want us to decrease. When they say decrease in this pattern, it means double crochet 2 together. That might be something you've seen in other patterns. So basically what it means is you will take your hook, go to make 1 double crochet, so you've got 2 loops, and then go into another double crochet, so that's 3 loops, and then pull all 3 together. So we'll work this round, which is round 16. So we'll do this together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we're going to make our decrease. So 1, and 2, and then we're going to close all 3 of those loops at once. There we go, and it's as easy as that. Do that twice more till you get to the end of the round, and I'll catch up with you again. Okay, so that was round 16. 17, 18 are very, very similar, and then back to 19 we'll start increasing. Okay, so have a go, keep going, and I'll catch up with you again. So we are now at row 22. By now I think I've taught you everything you need to know to complete the body. So we've talked about double crochet, we've talked about increases, and we've talked about decreases. We've talked about how the square brackets in the pattern are units and they are repeated. The rounded brackets in the end of each row are the total number of stitches you should have. We talked about the stitch marker and moving it up at the end of each round we've done. So go ahead and finish off the body. There will be more videos on how to make up Hedwig, but this one is already over half an hour long, and my computer cannot handle uploading longer videos than that to YouTube. It takes exception to me trying to do that. So we'll do the other bits and pieces in other videos, but if you have any problems, just get in touch with us and we'll try our best to help you, okay? So good luck, and we will see you in the next video.